Legend of Zelda's Evolution Spotlight video. This week in the Spotlight is Death itself. Death Mountain. Death Mountain has evolved from game to game and has been seen since the original. Sorry this one took so long to come out, it's scripted and I've actually never done something like this. So yeah. I am going to be leaving out the Four Swords games because I've not played them. So don't expect those to be in here, as in Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures. This may be a two-parter depending on how long it is, but let us see how Death Mountain has evolved in The Legend of Zelda. The first game in the franchise, the original Legend of Zelda for the NES in 1986. Death Mountain in this game was nothing too special, and most gamers never actually got to see it. Death Mountain, or Level 9 as some people call it, is the final level for the original game, and was where you fought the Prince of Darkness, Ganon. Death Mountain was genuinely the most difficult dungeon in the game, which is why most people never got to see it, with so many enemies that you never saw before, the sheer fact that it was kind of like a maze, and just Ganon in general. What happened here? Oh, what happened here? Now, I'm not going to say anything too bad about Zelda 2 because I've never actually played it, but I have heard of it, and I have heard many things about the black sheep of the family. Yes, it's different, but it's just the second game, so whatever. Now, what about this? What about this? I've heard many people call it a maze with no rhyme or reason, but I don't know, I've never played Link's Adventure, so I can't say too much. In this classic game, Death Mountain returns to its more mountainous state in the SNES game. This time, simply housing more enemies and such. It's really just an area. But as we all know, A Link to the Past has an alternate world, the Dark World. The Dark World counterpart of Death Mountain houses Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower. This time it's a more active volcano. Also notable is that without traveling to the Dark World, it is impossible to reach the peak. Just thought I'd throw that out there. The debut of Gorons! In Ocarina of Time, and many other games to come, Death Mountain is home to the peaceful, rock-eating, cave-dwelling Goron. The Gorons live in an enclave of Death Mountain, formerly known as Goron City. They even have their own mining complex near the start of the mountain. As for Death Mountain itself, it is merely just a great volcano in the middle of Hyrule, with a trail leading up from the base of Hyrule Field all the way to the crater where the Fire Temple lays. In the twisted world of Termina, there is no exact Death Mountain. In fact, there isn't even one at all. However, many familiar faces return to Majora's Mask, as well as the Goron. However, they have migrated to the frigid Snowhead. Looking closely at some of the areas and, hey, what's that? That looks like Death Mountain. But it's not. It's Woodfall Temple. Many believe that since many things in Majora's Mask resemble Hyrule, many state that Woodfall Temple is Death Mountain's counterpart of Termina. I mean, the Ring of Smoke, you can't really go wrong with that. Oh no, Hyrule's flooded. No, literally, it's flooded to the brim and all that remains is mountaintops. And wait, what's that in the distance? Is that Dragon Roost? Okay, here we go into a big theory session. Just so we're clear, this is this. Just surrounded by this. Anyway, Dragon Roost Island is the home of the Rudo, who are bird people. And they are the descendants of Zoras. But I can go into a whole nother theory on that. Anyway, Dragon Roost, if it's not clear enough, looks like Death Mountain. Also, there are some subtle hints that suggest this. Well, first, if this is the Ocarina of Time Hyrule, and looking at the map of this Hyrule, Death Mountain is here. And if you look at the map of the Great Sea, Dragon Roost is here. Coincidence? I think not. Also, a dragon who lives on top of the mountainous island is named Velu, and the dragon you face in the Fire Temple is named Volvagia, and they both live in volcanic habitats, look similar, and have similar names. I think I've proved my point. Finally seeing Death Mountain again and having it actually be home to the Gorons, and well back to its volcanic state is nice. The Gorons who live here this time actually look like rocks, and more, well, like Gorons. Because no offense to the Ocarina of Time Gorons, but they're kind of fat. Anywho, Death Mountain is the location of the second dungeon in the game, the Goron Mines, where you get the bow, and that's pretty badass. Anyway, the shape of the volcano kind of confuses me. I mean, just look at it. It's a giant ball of lava hanging off a cliff. At least you never actually go there. I mean, most of the time you just spent is down like halfway down the mountain with all the Gorons. Well, I don't know what to say about this one, but I will say what I want to. Wait, that makes no sense. I make no sense. This video makes no sense. If you're watching this, it makes sense that it makes no sense. And that makes no sense. This is another one of those cases where it's not really Death Mountain, but it could be. Because since Skyward Sword is the first Zelda game in the timeline, you could say it later becomes the Sacred Volcano. I mean, it's called Eldin, and in Twilight Princess, the province where Death Mountain was called Eldin, and in this game it's called Eldin Volcano. Anyway, its role in the game is being one of the 3 areas and housing 2 dungeons, the Fire Sanctuary and the Earth Temple. The Fire Sanctuary is being a great, big, complex dungeon, and the Earth Temple was short, but listen to that music. The incarnation of The Link to the Past Death Mountain returns with some minor changes, but hey, they're 2 different time areas and 2 different games. Some of the changes include Spectacle Rock, or the crater, being active and, well, actually making Death Mountain a place of death. And you no longer need to travel to the Dark World to get to the peak. However, the lower version of Death Mountain is completely iced over, and well, a frozen tundra. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed, a rating would be very much appreciated. And comment, I love to read them. And subscribe if you wish to see more. These will be out every Friday, and I'll see you guys later.